have to hit that, right? Okay, I tried to figure out a way to undo that, but I guess it's new for them, for Zoom. Okay, so let's get started. We'll start in our usual seated position. And you can have your legs crossed, or you can sit with your legs extended. Really, if you've got hip or knee issues, sometimes it's better to just keep your legs extended. So whatever works for you. And let's just start to settle in here. So close your eyes, relax your jaw, soften your temples. Take your shoulders up to your ears, take them back, and then float them down. So as you do that, feel the chest expand. And if your hands are on your knees, take a hold of your knees a little bit more, and then expand that even more. So pull on your knees, feel the chest open. So you're gonna feel the shoulder blades drawing in toward each other. Feel the crown of the head rising up, and the tailbone rooting down into your mat. And just start to follow your breath. Follow the breath as it comes in through the nose and out through the nose. Let's do that again. Just watch the breath come in and out. And let's take a breath in to the count of 4. So breath in, 3, 2, 1. Now hold it here for 4, 3, 2, 1. Gently release. 3, 2, 1. Now hold it at the bottom. 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's do that again. Inhale. Hold it. Gently exhale. Empty it out. Hold it here. And one more time through. Inhale. Hold it. Release. Hold it at the bottom. Then just let your breath flow in and out naturally. And sitting up nice and tall, keep the shoulders back. You can even keep your hands on your knees, keeping the chest lifted. Take your chin into your chest. Just draw the chin toward the chest. Float the shoulders back and down. Now, if you'd like, you can place your hands gently on the back of your head to deepen the stretch. Don't force it. Don't push. Just place your fingers on your head to guide the chin a little closer to your chest, feeling that stretch in the back of the neck. And then release your hands if they're there, and we'll slowly take the chin up to the sky. Now take your collarbones toward the floor. And stretching the front of the neck. Draw the shoulders back and down. Again, be gentle. Don't force anything. Now bring your chin back parallel to the floor. Now look over your right shoulder. Keep the shoulders floating back. Just be careful and don't go too far. As you breathe into it, maybe you can go a little bit farther, but just go where you can. Notice where your range of motion ends and don't force it because you may tweak something. We're just warming up, opening up the neck in all directions. We're gonna work on the upper body. Today we've been working a lot on our legs and our hips. Not that we won't, but we're gonna focus on the upper body this morning. And bring your chin back to center and look over your left shoulder. So same thing, just go where you can and then stop where you feel the range of motion end. So don't try to force it. But maybe you should breathe into it. You might go a little bit farther, but again, just do what's best for you. We don't want to tweak anything. We're just trying to open the neck. Now bring your head back to center. Let's take our right ear to our right shoulder. Right ear to right shoulder. Now walk the right hand out. Keep the left hip down. So if you do feel like as you put your hand over here and you're gonna pop up here on the left hip, put a block or something underneath your hand. We want to feel this stretch over in this left trapezius area. So we're gonna take the left arm out and then bring it back toward the wall behind you and then down maybe toward the floor or a combination of that. Move it around until you find that sweet spot right up in your upper trapezius muscle. And just stay here. Try to keep that left hip pressing into your mat. Big breath. Send your breath over to that area. And again, don't force this. Just let's just let it open on itself, by itself. All right, now let's take our right hand onto our right ear and carefully bring your head up. Take your time, don't rush. Sit here, notice the right from the left from the right. Just notice all the space we're creating in the neck. So we'll do the other side. Take your left ear to your left shoulder, walk your left hand over, and we'll take the right arm out. Maybe back, maybe down, maybe a combination till you find that spot right up here in the upper trapezius. It should feel good. It should feel like a nice stretch through the neck. Keep the right hip down. And just let the ear gently draw toward the shoulder, the left ear. Don't force it. And you can breathe over into that right side. Opening up into this upper trap. All right, we'll take the left hand on our ear and carefully again come up. Sit up nice and tall. Okay, let's walk the right hand back over to the right. Keep the right hip down. This time we're going to take the left arm up. We're going to bring it over. So getting into the side body now. So we're going to press that left hip down. Just reach over to the right. Try to keep the left shoulder stacked over the right. So your chest is open and lifted. So we don't want to be down here. We want to be here, lifted. Press through the left hip. Reach through the left fingertips. Carefully come up. Take a breath. And we'll do that on the other side. Walk the left hand out. Press the right hip down, and we're going to reach the right arm up and over. Press away with that right hip. Reach through your right fingertips. And then stack the right shoulder over the left. And then slowly come up and sit up nice and tall. All right, let's find our strap. And let's go ahead and just, you can just keep the strap at any length right now. We're gonna just reach out in front. So our wrists are in front of our shoulders. And just sit up tall, draw your navel in and up, and just pull to the right and pull to the left on your strap. Lift the chest. Pull to the right, pull to the left. So you've got a really strong grip on your strap, and you're really holding it tight. And then we're going to reach the arms up and overhead. So just go where you can. It's okay if the arms don't come in line with the ears. Just right now, just try to get the arms up where you can go. We're still pulling to the right and pulling to the left. Draw the navel up towards your chin and lift the chest. It's harder than it feels or looks, right? Pull to the right, pull to the left. Lower the shoulders down away from ears, but we don't want to hunch up. We want to create that space. And then slowly bring your hands down. Just bring them all the way down. Kind of shake that up. All right, now we'll take the hands wider, and we're going to reach the arms up and back. And up and back. And just go at your own pace. Make sure the strap is wide enough so you can get this range of motion right here, this openness in the chest. And just go at your own pace. And then we'll add the figure 8. So we'll take the right hand behind and the left hand in front. And then go in the opposite, left hand behind, right hand in front. And then go ahead, bring the strap down, put it over the side. We're going to use it again in a few minutes. Let's bring our hands out in front. We're going to work the wrists a little bit. So bring your hands out in front and then turn your hands so your thumbs are pointing down and your knuckles are facing each other. Then cross your right wrist under your left and interlace your fingers. Okay, you got that? Then we're going to bring the hands in toward our chest and then back out. And then extend, bring them in and out. So we're rotating through the wrists. And again, just go at your own pace here. And it may feel a little tight the first couple times, but you might notice a little bit more range of motion as you continue to do this. This is really good for our wrists. It's really good for arthritis prevention. It's good if you deal with carpal tunnel issues, wrist issues. Just like we did with the shoulders, we're lubricating the wrists. Let's do one more. And then the next time you're extended, release. You can shake that out for a sec. And then we're going to do that. We're going to switch. So we had the right under. Now we'll take the left under the right, interlace, bring it in and out. And you might notice one side's a little tighter than the other. Mine both just seem to be the same. I don't go very far on this extension, but it feels good, right? It feels nice in the wrists. It's really good for us. All right, and then we'll do one more fully extended release, shake it out. All right, so let's take our arms out to the sides and reach nice and long. So you're reaching out through your fingertips. Sit up tall. So imagine that your hands are on your knees and you're pulling your hands on your knees, just like we did a little earlier. We still want that opening in the chest. Now we're going to cross the right elbow under the left and either take a hold of your shoulders, bring the backs of your hands together, or bring your palms together. Just go where you can go here. Then we want to press the elbows up and forward. Press the elbows up and forward. And don't worry so much about your hands are in front of your face. So you may need to peek if you need to see anything, but just maybe gaze at your hands. And then you can bring your right thumb to your forehead, right between your eyebrows. But keep lifting. Now, if you're holding on to your shoulders, don't worry about that, right? If you can, now we just want to keep lifting the elbows up and pressing them forward. So we're feeling an expansion across the upper back. So you're going to feel that here too. But if you're here, we still want to lift the elbows and feel that stretch across the upper back. And then carefully uncross. Just bring your hands down on your legs. Take a breath here. Take a hold of your knees, lift the chest. We're going to keep, just to kind of check back in with that. Keep that chest lifted, arms are going to extend out. And then we're going to take the left under the right, either hold on to your shoulders, or you can just take the backs of your hands together. You can hold on to your thumb, bring your palms together. And then we're pressing up and forward, expanding across the shoulders. You can bring your thumbs to your third eye. Lift the chest. Feel the shoulder blades drawing in toward each other. And then come on out, uncross, take a breath. So let's come back to our strap. Let's switch our feet around. Okay, I know we've been sitting here for a while, so if you haven't already done it, switch your legs around. It's probably getting a little hard on the hips. And again, another thing you can do, you can just take your legs straight if it's been too long. You put some blocks underneath your legs too. That'll help. All right, let's take the strap. We're going to drape it over our right wrist. So it's like this. Then we'll take a hold of it. So it's kind of a loop around the wrist. Then reach your arm up and bend the elbow. So we're going to help it along a little bit. We're going to take a hold of the elbow with the left hand. Try to get the arm up a little straighter and close to your ear. Then we're going to take the tricep and turn the tricep to the front of your room, toward the screen. And then we'll take the left arm out, thumb down, reach around and find the strap. It doesn't matter how high you walk your hand up the strap. We're going to pull down on the bottom strap and up on the top strap. Continue to do this for a couple breaths. I think my dog wants to go outside. Hold on. I'll be right back. Keep working on pulling down. You want to go outside, Mom? Pulling up as you pull down. Keep the chest open and lifted. And then slowly just come on out. All right, so let's head up for the other side. Same thing, we'll drape the strap over our left wrist, take a hold of it, and then reach it up. Bend the elbow. Then we'll set up. So we'll kind of help it along. Take the tricep toward the front of the room. So we're getting the internal rotation of our shoulder. And then we'll reach the right arm out, thumb down, reach around behind. Walk your hand just up a little bit. Don't try to go up too high. That's not what we're really going for here. We're just trying to pull down and pull up and open the chest. So we're going to keep the chest lifted. Pull up with the top hand and down with the bottom hand. And again, this should feel kind of good, right? We've got the strap to really support us so we can open up. And then carefully come on out. And we'll put the strap over to the side. All right, we're gonna sit up tall. And if you need to, you can switch your feet around again. We're gonna twist over to the right. So the left hand can come on your right knee, right hand behind you. Now inhale, lengthen, and exhale, twist. Inhale, feel your spine grow long. Exhale, twist through the pit of the belly. So we're just kind of getting the twist, initiating through the lumbar spine, and then the shoulders will follow. One more time, inhale, lengthen. Exhale and twist. And then come back to center. And we'll twist over to the other side. So right hand on your left knee, left hand behind you. Inhale, use your left hand as a kickstand to really get the spine to grow long. And then exhale, we twist. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. One more time, inhale. Exhale, twist. And then come on back to center. And let's take our legs long. We're gonna lengthen out and come onto our backs. So just stretch the legs lengthwise on your mat. Keep your strap around within arm's reach, and then lower down onto your back. Now take your legs to the edge of your mat, nice and long, and reach your arms to the top of your mat. Lift the chest. Bring your feet together. Take your toes towards your shins. So we're flexing through the feet. We're really pressing through the heels. So you can kind of feel that action. Hook your thumbs over your head. Lift the chest. Take a big inhale. And as you exhale, press through your heels, reach through your fingertips. Inhale, release. Hook the thumbs the other way and exhale, press and reach. Inhale, release. Hook the thumbs the other way. Exhale, press and reach. Full body stretch. Just feeling the sides lengthening, pressing through your heels, lifting the chest and reaching through the fingertips. And then bring your hands by your side. All right, let's hug the right knee up. Extend the left leg. So same action. We want the left leg long, flexing through the foot, pressing through the heel. We want the left pinky toe pointing up toward the sky. The right knee's drawing in toward our chest. Then take your left hand on your right knee. We're going to take it over to a twist, over to the left, and reach the right arm out. Now, pick up your left shoulder to try to get that right shoulder down as best as you can. Inhale, press through the left leg. And then the toes are going to splay over to the left. That's fine. And then we exhale, twist a little bit deeper. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. And then bring your knee up. And let that foot just float to the edge of your mat with control. All right, other side. Hug the left knee up. Extend through that right leg. Pinky toe up toward the sky. Hug the left knee up. Lift the chest. Right hand comes on your left knee, and we're going to take the knee over to the right. Pick up your right shoulder, scoot that left shoulder down. Inhale, lengthen through your right leg. Exhale, twist. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Inhale. Exhale, nice deep twist here. And then bring your knee up and let that foot glide to the edge of your mat. All right, so we're going to take the right knee up again, and this time we're going to extend the left leg long, just like we did before, but it's going to stay like this. We're going to take that left pinky toe pointing up, and we'll take our forehead toward our knees. So hug the knee in, take your forehead to your knee. Push that left leg away. Hold it here. Hold it here. Hug it in. Tuck your chin into your chest. And then release, and let that foot flow to the edge of your mat. All right, let's do the other side. Hug the left knee up. Extend through your right leg. Hug it in. And then let that go. And I wasn't going to do the one breath, one movement, but I'm going to do it because my dog's barking at the door. So I'll do it again. So I'm going to get you started, and then I'll be right back. So we're going to go one breath, one movement. So we're going to exhale, hug the knee up, take the forehead to the knee. Inhale, let it go. Exhale, Left knee comes up, inhale, let it go. And just go through that a couple more times till I go find, I think she's at the back door. Okay, so make sure you're even on both sides. So when you've finished the right and the left, go ahead and just extend your legs long. Okay. So now let's, oh, you know what? Hold on a sec. Oh, shoot. There we go. I forgot to plug it in. The battery was just about to die on the iPad. Okay, we're good though. I just plugged it in. Okay, so let's come back to this reclining position. We're on our backs. Let's hug both knees in. Hug both knees in and take your forehead to your knees. Squeeze it in. Hug everything in. And if it's uncomfortable for your neck like this, stay down. Otherwise, we're here. And then we're going to extend the legs to the edge of our mat and reach our arms overhead. So we will flow through this one. One breath, one movement. So let's exhale, hug everything in. Inhale with control. Let your feet glide to the edge of your mat. And then place them down. Exhale, hug it in. Inhale, so you'll feel some core involved with this one. Exhale, hug everything in. Inhale, float the feet. Let's do that 2 more times. Exhale, hug everything in. Inhale, extend, and last one. Hug it in, squeeze it in, and then with control, let your legs glide to the edge of your mat and place them down. And then let's hug our knees back in. Just hold on to your knees. You can hold on to your opposite wrists or opposite elbows, or just hold on to the knees individually. We want to hug them in though, so we feel the entire spine on our mat. And then we're going to roll over, just rock over to the right, just to the point where you feel like you're going to tip over. And then come back to center and over to the left. Again, just to the point where you feel like you're going to tip over and come back. So just go at your own pace. Rocking side to side. Massaging your spine, massaging your back. Let's go at your own pace. Let's do one more time on each side. And come on back to center. Place your feet down and find your strap. So take your left leg long. We're going to go into our hip series. So let's take the strap around the right heel. So it's just about above the heel. I like to loop the strap around my wrist. I know some of you like to use the loop around your heel. That's fine. Whatever you've been using that you like. You guys know this probably in your sleep. We're going to take the left leg long, just like before. We want that left pinky toe pointing up and the inner thigh rolling toward the mat. Now we're going to lift the chest. So we're going to lock the shoulders down into the mat, and that right leg is straight. We want it straight, so we don't want the knee bent. You want to feel this in your hamstrings. So if your knee's bent, you want to take it a little longer. Now pull down on your strap and press your heel into your strap. And then take your right thigh bone, your right hip, away from your chin. Lift the belly up towards your chest and keep the chest lifted. and hold it here. So we've got that isometric action of taking that right hip away from our chin. We're pulling down into the strap and we're pressing the heel into the strap. So you should feel this in your hamstrings. The left leg is still active. So check back in there. The left pinky toe is pointing up. The left knee is rotating down toward the mat. And then bend your knee, remove the strap, take that leg long. We'll switch sides. Back over to the left heel. Right leg goes long, lift your chest. Lock the shoulders down. So the elbows are straight. Flex your feet, take that right pinky toe up toward the sky. Get the internal rotation of the right leg. And then we'll take that left thigh bone away from our chin. And then the low belly up toward our chin. Pull down on the strap. So really feel this in the hamstrings. That is the target area. We're stretching or opening up through the hamstrings. So maybe the more you flex through your foot, take the toes towards your shin and pull down on that strap, you're going to feel that stretch in the hamstrings. And then bend the knee, remove the strap, come back to the right. Take both ends of the strap over to the left hand. Left leg goes long, just like before, just like always, pinky toes pointing up. Now we're going to take our right thumb into our right hip crease. We'll still flex through the feet, both feet. And we're going to lock that left shoulder down. Now we're going to take our right thumb and push that right hip away. So where we were doing it without the hand before, now we're helping it along. We're going to push that right hip away, getting traction in the hip. Low belly draws up. Lift the chest. Then we're going to continue to do that. Take the right hip away, push it away. We're going to take the right heel over in line with our left shoulder. Lift the chest. Breathe here. Push that right thigh bone away with your thumb. Don't let that left foot get lazy. We're going to take that left pinky toe up toward the sky. Press through your left heel. Push the right thigh away with your right thumb. Keep the chest open. Inhale. Exhale, bring your heel up over your hip. Bend the knee, remove your strap. Take that leg long. Over to the left. Straps are in the right hand. Left thumb comes in your left hip crease. Right leg is active, strong, spiraling over to the left. So we're getting that internal rotation. The right pinky toe points up. Left thumb in your left hip crease. Push that left thigh bone away. And then we'll take that left heel in line with our right shoulder. Lift your chest. Push the left thigh bone away. Take your low belly up towards your chin. Hold it here. Make sure that right leg is strong and active. And breathe. Don't hold your breath. Remember to take nice deep breaths. Opening up our hips in 6 ways in this hip series. That's pretty much the foundation of happy back yoga. So I like to get this in if I can. There's some practices where there's not enough time. Let's take a breath in and then lift the leg up, bend the knee, remove the strap. Because basically if you have, especially if you have active back pain, let's take the strap back around the right heel. And now both ends of the strap will be in the right hand. And you can always put a blanket or a block underneath your right hip. All right. So let's take the straps into the right hand. Left leg is long. Left hand comes on your left hip bone. We're going to pull that left hip down. Inhale here. And as you exhale, open your leg out to the right. So that right outer edge of your foot is parallel to the floor. We don't want the toes pointing down. So you want the just nice parallel outer edge of your foot to the floor. You're feeling this in the adductors in your inner thighs. So if you have active back pain and there's only a couple poses you can do, the first one of these Supta Padangusthasana, where the leg is over the right leg's over the hip. If this is all you can do if you get back pain, this is, and that's why I really try to do this a lot so you know it well. So this hip series is really the best thing you can do for active back pain. And there's always something new. There's always a new little adjustment you can make in this. And we really should all be doing these at least 3 times a week. If you have active back pain, let's take a breath in. And as you exhale, bring the leg up, bend the knee, remove the strap, and we switch sides. So if you've got a support, bring it over to the other side. So now both ends of the strap, we'll take the strap around the left heel and then both ends of the strap are in your left hand. Right leg goes long, right hand on your right hip bone. So we want to focus on keeping that right hip from popping up, and we still want this right leg to be active, the right pinky toe pointing up. Lift the chest, lock the left shoulder down, inhale, exhale, lower the left leg out to the left. Pull down on your right hip. Of course, you also have 40-something videos on YouTube that you can find at least probably 90% of those have the hip series in it. So you can always do it there too on my YouTube channel. I just counted today, there's 40. And I think I just added 2 more. Lift the chest. Breathe here. Take your low belly up towards your chin. Inhale. Exhale. Lift the leg up. Bend the knee. Remove your strap. Take your legs long. And you can put the strap over to the side. Let's bend the knees. We'll do internal rotation of the hips now. So bend the knees so your heels are in line with your hips. Then we're going to slide the right foot over to the right and let that right knee drop in towards your left foot. So you want a 45-degree angle with your leg. That left knee's dropping in toward the right. Now, if this feels easy, if this feels okay, take your left foot onto your right thigh. So the right hip will pop up even more. Now we're going to look up and check our alignment. So we want to get our right knee and right shoulder in one line and lower back down. And if this feels okay, you can reach your right arm overhead. Take a hold of your right wrist with your left hand. Lift the chest. So get the shoulder blades under the chest. And then we gently just reach through the right fingertips. And maybe even drag your left heel down your right thigh. Big long line from the right knee up to the right hand. Opening up the psoas, opening up the quadricep. Lift the chest. Deep breaths. And then release, uncross. Bring your knees up. Take a breath. We'll do the other side. So let's slide the left foot over. Let that left knee drop in towards your right foot. And then check in. If this is enough, if this feels like it's a lot, just stay here. Otherwise, take your right foot on your left thigh. And then you can kind of adjust from there. And then if this still feels like it's okay, you take your left arm overhead. So with this gets into the upper attachment of the psoas, so we reach the arm overhead. You can take a hold of your left wrist with your right hand, lift your chest. And well, check your alignment. Don't forget to do that. Left knee and left shoulder in line with each other. Lengthen through the left arm. Maybe drag your right heel down your thigh. Lift the chest. Couple more breaths. And let's uncross. Place the feet back on the mat. Bring your hands down by your sides just to start. Take a breath here. That was internal rotation of the hips. Now we're going to do external. So we're going to let the right knee drop over to the right and slide your right foot behind your left heel. So that's your external rotation. Lots of things you can do here. You can always put a blanket or a block underneath your right leg if this is too intense. And if this feels easy enough, then you can take your left heel in front of your right shin and let your left knee drop out. And if this is easy, take your left foot onto your right thigh and let your left knee drop out. Just kind of find what works for you here in your external rotation. Now we're going to lift the chest, take the low belly in and up, and then maybe extend the arms overhead. Just an option if that feels okay. You can always hold on to your opposite elbows, or just take your arms wide. Lift your chest. I say that a lot because I know that sometimes it sinks back down. So we want to focus on keeping the chest lifted. And notice how this feels. Notice how this feels as opposed to internal rotation, which we just did. You can kind of get an idea of how your hips are inserted into the socket. And the more we do this, the more we can get a little bit more open in our hips. This is just really good. Good stuff for the hips. Good stuff for the low back. All right, let's take a breath. And then carefully come out. And we'll switch sides. So bring your feet back in line with your hips. We'll let the left knee drop open to the left. And the left foot will tuck in behind your right heel. And then we start to kind of figure out where we're going to go from here. So for me, my left hip does not like external rotation. So I know that. It's getting better because I've been working on it, but it really does not like this. So I kind of go a little bit, I modify here. But we can take our right heel in front of our left shin, just like we did before. This is usually enough for me on this hip. But if it feels okay for you, you can take your right foot on your left thigh and then let that right knee drop out. See, this is really painful for my left hip. So I go here on this one. And then our hips are opening. So you're just externally rotating, which is what we want. And just kind of breathe into it. If you want, you can take your arms overhead. Lift the chest. Couple more breaths. Low belly thrust up. And then carefully come on out. Bring the knees up. Let's take the legs long and take your arms by your sides. So basically, Shavasana pose, just for a breath or two. Let everything kind of settle in here. There's a lot of work in the hips. And then hug your knees in. You can even make circles with the knees, whatever feels good right now. And then we're going to roll over to one side and make our way onto our hands and knees. All right, so we're going to come into a lunge from here. So let's take our right foot forward. And then bring your hands up onto your right knee. And you want the heel far enough in front that you can take your tailbone toward that right heel. We want to feel this in the psoas, in this hip flexor, but we want this right knee over the right ankle. So we want to feel this stretch here. Reach the crown of the head up. You can press down into your thigh to get a little length into your spine. And then we can reach the left arm up to, again, get the upper attachment of the left psoas. So reaching up, taking the tailbone toward the heel, feeling that stretch right through here in your hip flexor. Low belly draws up. And then we can take it into a lateral as well. So we're going to reach over to the right. Lateral flexion of the spine, opening up through the psoas, low belly draws up towards your chin. Flexion, extension in the hips. And then inhale, come up. And then we'll switch sides. So come back onto your hands and knees. Take the left foot forward and come on up onto your left thigh. This is where we set up. We want to make sure the foot's forward enough that we can lean forward and feel this stretch right here in the hip flexor. All right. Then we're going to reach the right arm up. Take the low belly up toward our chin. Reach up through the fingertips. Tailbone presses towards your front heel. And then we'll take it into the lateral flexion. So reaching over to the left. Keep the chest open. Good. And then come up and forward. Let's come onto our hands and knees. Stack your shoulders over your wrist. Make sure your hips are over your knees. So we're in tabletop position. Draw your navel in and up. Press the tops of your feet into your mat. And press your hands into your mat. Now pull as if you're trying to pull your hands out toward the edges of your mat. So you're going to pull them apart. So you feel that opening in the shoulders. And then we're going to exhale, take the tailbone toward the knees, push the floor away from you even more, and we're going to look up at our belly button. Round your back. Keep pulling the hands out to the edges of your mat. Now inhale, turn your tailbone toward your ceiling. Let your belly drop towards your mat. Broaden across the collarbones and reach the crown of the head up. If that works for your neck. Otherwise, just gaze down at your mat. We're still pulling the mat apart with our hands. Exhale back to cat. Inhale to cat. And one more time. Exhale, cat. And inhale to cow. Now come back to neutral spine. And shift forward. So your shoulders are going to come a little bit more over your wrists. So you can take your knees back slightly. So we're in a modified plank pose. Push the floor away from you. Keep that action like you're pulling your hands toward the edges of your mat. All right, we're going to keep this action, right? The arms are really strong here. And then we're going to lower down into a modified chaturanga. So we're just going to take the shoulders in line with our elbows. The elbows are going to shave our rib cage as we come down. Hold it here. Hold it here. Hug the elbows in. I know this isn't easy. Hug it in. Hold it here, and then come all the way down onto your belly. Take a breath. Okay, so now slide your hands and keep them underneath your shoulders. Pick up your right leg and reach it to the edge of your mat. Pick up your left leg, reach it, extend it to the edge of your mat, and touch the toenails down into your mat. Chin comes to the middle of your mat, and then we're going to lift the heart. Lift the chest. Hug the elbows into your rib cage. Take the heels of your hands back towards your hips and lift. Maybe you can even lightly take your hands off of your mat and lift a little bit more. Squeeze those elbows into your rib cage. And then exhale, lower down. Turn your toes under, come back up onto your hands and knees. And then just come back to just an easy child's pose. You don't have to take your knees wide right now. We're just gonna stretch that out. We're gonna do that again. So come back up onto your hands and knees. And then we're gonna shift forward to that modified plank. So shoulders are forward. And the shoulders are over the wrists. We're gonna engage the abdominals and then come halfway down. Let the elbows shave the rib cage. So your elbows and shoulders are in line with each other. Hug it in, hold it here. You're really gonna feel your triceps and biceps firing up here. Hold it in, hold it here if you can. One more breath, I know this is hard. And then come all the way down. Take a breath here. Extend through the right leg, extend through the left leg. Hands underneath the armpits, lift your heart. For Cobra, hug the elbows in to your rib cage. You should be able to shake your head no here, so no tension in the neck. Press down into all 10 toenails, lift your heart. Maybe lift your hands slightly off your mat. Breathe. Don't forget to breathe. Come all the way down, turn your toes under. We're gonna press up. This time we'll take a wide-legged child's pose. Take your knees to the edges of your mat. Take your tailbone to your heels for child's pose. Come back up onto your hands and knees. So that modified version is available to you, right? With your knees on your mat, modified plank, modified chaturanga. We're gonna go into full plank and full chaturanga as an option. Okay, so let's start in down dog. Everyone come into down dog. Turn your toes under, come into down dog. Keep your knees bent. Wiggle your chest to your thighs. Look at your knees, keep the neck long. Take your hips higher, and then you can straighten your legs. So let's pedal through our feet a couple times. Let's just take a couple breaths in down dog. All right, so option here, we're gonna shift forward into plank. When we shift forward to plank, you're welcome to place your knees down, just like we had them. Otherwise, you stay in full plank here. Just like before, we're kind of pulling our hands to the edges of our mat. Draw your navel up towards your, well, actually draw it in towards your spine and then up towards your chin. Okay, so here's the fun part. Knees down or not, we're gonna lower halfway down. Elbows and shoulders will come in line with each other into chaturanga. Elbows still shave the rib cage. Hug your elbows in. This is not easy. Hug it in. And then I guess we can all come all the way down. Untuck your toes. We're gonna lift up to cobra, or you can lift up into up dog, upward facing dog. You slide your hands back in line with the tops of your ribs. We're gonna lift the heart just like we did in cobra, but then everything comes off the mat except the palms of your hands and the tops of your feet. The chest presses through because we want the shoulders stacked over the wrists. Lift the chest. And you don't have to look up, just look straight ahead for today. Lift your thighs. Hold it here. And then you can lower your knees down, shift back, child's pose or downward facing dog, your choice. Take a couple breaths, either way, down dog or child's. And let's all find down dog. If you're not already there, look at your hands, walk your feet and your hands toward each other. Coming into a forward bend. Keep your knees soft. Take your tailbone high. Let your arms dangle. Just take a couple breaths here. Inhaling through the nose, big loud exhale through the mouth. And one more. Take your hands onto your hips. Let's come all the way up. All right. So just come into Tadasana. Feet are hip distance, shoulders stacked over the hips, hips over the ankles, crown of the head rises to the sky. Stay here for a couple breaths. Now let's take our feet wide. Actually have a block nearby over to your left. Take your feet wide. And we're going to turn the left toes toward the top of our mat. And then the right toes are going to turn in and up. And we want the left heel intersecting with the arch of the back foot. Arms extend out. Lift the chest. We're root down through both feet. Engage the legs. Take a breath in here. And then we're going to reach out over our front toes. You can take your right hand on your hip, and then your left hand will come onto your block. Or you can have if you have a chair, you can use a chair. Chairs are nice for this as well. And the block has 3 heights, right? So you can use whatever height works for you. Okay, so now let's take our back ribs toward our front ribs. So the left ribs toward the right ribs. And we're going to open the chest. And then we can take the right arm up if that works for your shoulder. Root down through both feet. Engage your legs. Stack the top shoulder over the bottom shoulder. And then press into your block. So you can even come up onto your fingertips and then lift up out of the block and reach up through the extended hand, the right hand. Now take your front butt cheek towards your back heel. And then we're going to come up. You can bring the block with you. And we're going to switch sides. So just turn your feet to the other side. Place your block in front of your left foot, behind your left foot. Arms extend out. Lift the chest. Inhale. We're going to reach out, left hand on your hip, right hand on your block. And then we take the back ribs toward the front ribs. So we're twisting to get this left shoulder over the right shoulder. Front butt cheek towards your back heel. And then you can extend your left arm up. Draw that front butt cheek toward the back heel. Keep the chest lifted. Press into your block and reach up through your fingertips. One more breath. And then carefully come all the way up. Bring your feet in alignment with each other and step your feet together. All right, let's take our feet wide again. Move the block back up to the other side. This time, just have it handy for right now. We may not need it for this first time through. So again, the left toes are pointing forward and the foot intersects the back. And then we're going to bend our front knee into a square. So warrior 2, legs. Torso is still parallel with the long edge of your mat and the arms come out. And then look over your front fingers. Hug that left hip in. So the idea is to try to get that left knee in line with your second and third toe. So we're really externally rotating this front hip. We're going to reach out over the front leg, place our elbow on the knee. Extended side angle pose. Now you can use this elbow to get that knee over that second or third toe. Stack the top shoulder over the bottom. Right now the right hand's on the hip. We still want to take the back ribs toward the front ribs. And then if you want, you can extend the right arm up. The gaze can come up toward your hand or just straight toward your screen. And then come up, turn your feet the other direction.
So we'll use the block on the next variation of this. So we're going to come back into warrior two legs, bend the front knee into a square, arms extend out, lift the chest. Inhale, exhale, front elbow comes onto your knee, your right elbow, left hand come on your hip to start. And we try to get that left knee in line with our second or third toe. And we're stacking the top shoulder over the bottom. And then we can extend the left arm up. Root down through both feet. Really engage this back leg. The outer edge of your back foot rotates into the mat. You're drawing your knee up into your quad up to your hip. And then come up. All right, let's go back to the other side. This is where we'll need the block. So we'll have the block in front of our foot. Arms out, come into warrior two, legs. Bend your front knee. Inhale, and then exhale. This time we're going to come down and bring our hand onto our block in front of our foot. You can start with your right hand on your hip. And we want to hug the left knee and the left arm into each other. So we're still trying to get that knee over the second or third toe, right? We're pushing it now with this left hand, but the left knee is pushing back into the shoulder. All right, and we're still taking the back ribs toward the front ribs, stacking the top shoulder over the bottom. And then we're going to take our left arm and extend it overhead. So you can even trace the arm up your side and extend it overhead. So the thumb points up toward the ceiling, pinky toward the floor. We're still pressing the arm and knee into each other. So we're getting that rotation through the torso, but we're extending through the top hand. Lift the chest. Press through the outer edge of that back foot. Hug that arm and leg in toward each other. And then carefully take your time. Come up, bring your block with you. We'll switch to the other side. So place the block in front of your right foot. Arms out. Bend your front knee. Lift the chest. Inhale here. Exhale, we're going to reach out, take our right hand onto our block. And the left hand can land on the hip for right now. So we'll set up the front first. We want to make sure we're hugging the right knee and the right arm into each other. And that right knee is tracking over that second or third toe. So you can do that with the engagement of the arm and the leg. Then we'll take this left hand, we're going to slide it up our torso and extend overhead. Pinky toward the floor, thumb toward the sky. Take that left shoulder over the right. And we're still hugging the right arm and the right leg into each other, pressing in the outer edge of the back leg. One more breath. And then carefully come up, put the block aside. You can bring your feet in alignment with each other and then step your feet together into Tadasana and take a breath. All right. I'm gonna check the time. Okay, we're good for a few minutes. All right, so let's get our strap. And if you have a buckle, we're going to make this a loop with our strap. And we want it about shoulder distance. So right about here. Then we're going to take our legs wide, just like before, Prasarita legs, but feet will be slightly, well, they'll be in line with each other, but then our toes will point into toward each other, just slightly. Now we're going to take the strap, and if you don't have a loop, you can hold on to your strap. Just hold on to it. If you've got the loop, we'll place our wrists into the loop. Okay? So either way, whatever works is going to be fine. Now we're going to squeeze the shoulder blades together, lift the chest. Really engage the legs. Draw the kneecaps up toward the thighs. Lift the chest. We're actually adding a slight back bend here. You can slide your hands down towards your thighs. Now we're going to hinge forward. So we're going to hinge from the hips forward. Come halfway so your torso is parallel to the floor. We're pulling our wrists into our strap. Lift the chest. Inhale, lengthen. And then exhale, take the crown of your head down toward the floor and reach your arms up where they'll go. We're still pulling the wrists into the strap, or you're just pulling on your strap. Arms go up wherever they go. I know some of you may actually be able to get your hands over toward your head. My shoulders do not do that. One more breath. Now carefully come all the way up. Step your feet together and remove the strap. Just hold on to the strap for a sec. Okay. We don't need the loop. All right, we're gonna do the shoulder harness. And I know a lot of you guys have done this a lot, but I know it still gets a little bit lost in the translation. So let's demonstrate and I'll walk you through it. So we're gonna start with the strap right up under our armpits, like this. And I'm turning this way so you can see. And then we want equal length on each side. Then we're gonna take the strap over our shoulders like a backpack. Make her out of the way. So it's over our shoulders like a backpack, so it looks like this, right? But I'm doing it this way because this next part is tricky, and I always see people end up with it in front of their neck instead of behind. So we want to make an X right here, right at the cervical spine. Okay, so you cross the straps there. Then take your right hand over on the right tail and the left over on the left. All right, so then we're gonna pull the straps to open the chest. And then you can walk your hands back up towards your armpits and pull. And your legs are in Tadasana legs, so keep your legs strong. But just do this a few times. Just go ahead, I'm gonna kind of check in, make sure nobody's crossed in front. So you guys, good, perfect. I can't see anyone's heads except Christina's, but that's okay. So yeah, and just, you wanna crawl your hands up, pull it down. And then something you can do when you have time and you're walking around your house, you can buckle it up here, right? You can buckle it. My buckle's I've already got a loop there. But even if you don't have a buckle, you could tie it. And so you could just kind of walk around for a little bit during the day and have this harness here to open up the chest. All right, so let's do one more. I know everyone usually loves this one, and you guys are great, it looks great. Let's do one more. Walk your hands up, pull it down. Should feel really nice. And then release, let's take it off. Put it aside, come back to Tadasana. Close your eyes. Imagine the strap is still there. Imagine the strap is still there. Lift your chest. Draw the crown of your head up. Draw your kneecaps into your spine. Feel that openness. Feel that correction of our posture with that strap. So you can do this, right? We can do it without the strap. We have to just think about it a lot, right? To keep those shoulders open and the chest lifted. So play around with this throughout the week, like when you're in the grocery store line. You gotta wait a few minutes. Practice your posture, practice your yoga. Imagine you have your strap there. Okay, let's take a big inhale, reach your arms up and overhead. Exhale, take your elbows in line with your shoulders. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Bring your elbows down towards your ribs. Just open up the chest. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, we're gonna swan dive forward. Come into a forward bend and step back to down dog. Spread your fingers wide. Pedal your feet. So we're gonna do one more vinyasa. Let's shift forward to plank. Hold it here. Push the floor away from you. Knees can come down to the mat. That is always an option. Inhale. Exhale, we're gonna lower down. Shave the rib cage with your elbows. Come halfway down. Hug the elbows in. Hold it here. Hold it here if you can for 2 more breaths. Breathe here, chaturanga. And then come all the way down. Untuck your toes. Hands in line with your ribs. Come up to cobra or maybe upward facing dog. Lift the heart. Draw the shoulder blades in toward each other. Lift the thighs if your knees are off the mat. And then let's all place our knees down. Take them wide, toes together, and come into child's. Crawl your hands toward the top of your mat. Feel your spine grow long, lengthening the shoulders, lengthening the arms, opening the shoulders. And then come onto your hands and knees. Let's roll over, come onto our backs. Once you're on your backs, hug your knees into your chest. Take your right knee over your left. Hug the knees in. And if it's okay, slide your hands down to your ankles. We're going to gently pull the ankles apart. Lift the chest. Take your knees slightly over to the left. Hold it here. And then uncross, switch sides. Hands down to your ankles. If that works for you, we hug the knees in and the knees over slightly to the right. So we're feeling this over in that left piriformis. Lift the chest, slide the shoulders underneath your chest. And then uncross. Hug your knees in. Let's take the right ankle over the left knee. Slide your right hand through and behind the left thigh. You can always place your left foot down on the floor if that works better for your hips. Otherwise, we're drawing the left knee toward our nose. Flex your right foot. Draw the knee in. Use your right elbow to press that right leg away. And then gently take your legs over to the left slightly. Another stretch in the piriformis. And then bring your legs up and switch. Left ankle comes over the right knee. Slide the left hand through. Or place your right foot down. And then we use the left elbow to press that right leg. Left elbow, press the left leg away. Flex your right foot. And then take your leg slightly over to the right to deepen that muscle. And bring the legs up, uncross. Take your arms out to the side, feet on the floor. Scoot your hips over to the right. And let's just take our knees over to the left for a gentle twist. Pick up the left shoulder to get the right shoulder down. Lift the chest. Bring your knees up. Or scoot the hips over to the left and take the knees to the right. So same thing, if your hips are not coming down, we're going to pick up the right shoulder, get the left shoulder down. And then bring your knees up. Hug them in. Take your forehead to your knees. Give yourself a big hug here. Squeeze everything into a tiny little ball. And we'll find Shavasana. So any option that you like. Traditional Shavasana with your legs extended, palms facing up. You can always roll up a blanket and place it underneath your knees. If you have active back pain, that's a good thing to do. Or even take your feet to the edges of your mat and bring your knees together. That's really good if you've got some active back pain going on. The other thing you can do is take your feet up onto your legs up onto your chair if you've got that nearby and you like that. I like this one a lot. Usually my cat's here, but she's not today. I've seen her. And then make sure you're comfortable. So there shouldn't be any kind of effort in Shavasana, other than we do on the shoulders underneath the chest lifted and palms facing up. Other than that, everything you should be able to fully relax here. That's the point. Most important pose is to just let everything go here. So let's just kind of release the toes and the fingers, relax your jaw. Soften your forehead. And then just let your entire body melt into the earth beneath you. And I'll ring the chimes 3 times when it's time to come out. So just let everything go here. Begin to awaken your body. Start to bring movement into your fingers and your toes. Deepen your breath. Reach your arms overhead. A big stretch. And then make your way over to your right side. And stay there for a breath or two, just as you make your connection back into your day. And with your eyes closed, come up to a comfortable seated position. Sit here for a few more breaths. Notice how you feel.
Just notice how you feel since you got on your mat a little earlier this morning. And more open, more centered, maybe more peaceful, just even a little bit more just happier or lighter. Take your hands to your heart center. Take this time to thank yourself for getting on your mat this morning, for all this great work that you're doing for your body, as well as your mind and your spirit. I thank you so much for letting me guide you in your practice today and this past year on Zoom. As things are changing, I will be in contact with all of you and letting you know how things go. Namaste. You can unmute yourselves and we can kind of go over. I know a couple people jumped on a little bit after. So I'm going to hit record. There we go.
You're going to a light.